I'm going to go over a few tickers starting with Philip Morris. We ended the day at $145.32, up a whopping 10.95%. To the north side from where we are takes us to one level of resistance and a potential take profit area at $149. Above that, at another level of resistance and a potential take profit area, 152.53. And should we be so lucky as to get to this level, but don't hold your breath, for Friday, 155.81 to the south side. The middle of the trend and the baseline takes us to 141.89. Below that, at another level of support and another potential buy-in area. Many buy-in areas at this level here. And that is roughly 134.95. This gap closes to the downside at -3 standard deviations. And that is roughly 131.30 and 128.02. This gap closes out to the downside at 127.31. So a couple of landmines to watch out for to the south side. Note the basing here and then the explosion. And what happened? Philip Morris is set to release its latest financial results on Thursday, coinciding with reports from other companies such as Eli Lilly and Honeywell International. So they reported $9.71 billion. The estimate was $9.44 billion. I have not looked at Philip Morris in a very long time. Let's check this out on the daily. So let me move this out of the way. This is a note to myself about price. Although I don't do a video, I still look at the chart. And what do I have here? Oh, on March 20th of 2024, oops, my battery's getting low, so that means I will not be talking for very long. We were at 93.64. I did want to buy this, but I was a little nervous too, and I didn't, and look at that. So the last time I did an actual video, I can't even tell you. Well, all of these price targets, I did it. But maybe I did it, I don't know. It's been forever. Okay, so since we're here on the daily, I'll give you some targets to keep your eyes on. 149.54 and roughly 155.27 back at the middle of the trend on the daily takes us to 132.51. But do we have gaps here? Yep, we have gaps to the south side at 127, as I mentioned, 37. And then look at the clear bounce off of support, clear sell-off, and now we're at clear resistance. So I will anticipate a pullback as people take their profits and they run, they will lock in and they will leave. But the RSI, it's going straight up, hasn't rolled over just yet. So I like to look at this on the monthly, and that's where I found the price, in the 90s. I'll look at $81. So yeah, look at this resistance and then selling off. I'm going to anticipate that with today's price target too. So watch out for that, but congrats if you made some money. Now let's go over to the bottom of the leaderboard, Ford. It's been forever since I looked at this one as well, but since 926 is where we ended, putting that in purple. The middle of the trend and the baseline now, oops, is here at 956. That is a level of resistance. This gap, we gap down, so I'll anticipate it to fill to the upside. Don't know when that will happen, but you can expect that it will at some point. Then another level, 1012 for Friday. And should we be so lucky, 1039, and definitely not at 1067, maybe at some other point, but note the downward channel on the 5. And another level of support, 901, 874, and another buy-in area 846. The 1-year price target is now 1074. So we're close to that, getting there. And we have this gap that I have not extended out. That will take us to roughly 1043, and then this gap also, so we got this one that I haven't marked out. I've got my magnet turned on, so it gets a little, I gotta turn this thing off. It makes it get wonky. So we gap down, so that should fill on the way up. And that will take us to roughly 1037. Oh, but to the downside, okay, this gap's already done, no longer a threat. Let me just pull this over to the daily and see what is happening here. Oh, we've got a huge gap. But note the downward movement on the daily. Still something to look forward to in the future at 1358. So all of these gaps, because it's been forever since I looked at this, I remember tracking forward in the $5 range. Oops. Gosh darn it. Command Z. So this is done. Down to 1124 there. Delete. Yeah, I have to go through and clean all of these up on the daily. That closed about right there. It's going to look different though, because I usually mark it out on the 5 and it's not going to line up on the daily, but that will just give me an idea. And this one closed to the upside at 1136. But again, I'll clean this up later. The RSI, where are we? Double click. Oh, still falling on the daily. On the weekly, still falling. So there's a pullback happening right now. And here we are on the monthly. The bottom. Yeah, I don't think so. It's not going to $1.10. That's ridiculous. No, not happening. On the daily, oh, I've already marked that out, but we are right here. So one window to the south side, 860, and then back up to where we've been, 1038-ish on the daily. Now, the next one I want to go over is Palantir, only because it ran. Again, I just made a video on this, so now let me give you price targets for Friday. So the middle of the trend is now here. But note here how this line that I marked out acted as support. And I said if we go sideways, this is where price will go before going up or down, and then we made a leg up. So if we go up or go sideways, this is where we can hover, but 123.31 is the window. I don't think we're going to get to 128.83 on Friday, and definitely not 134.23 on Friday. But follow these lines up to give you an idea of where we could go. To the south side, back to this line of now considered support. Not only does it line up with this red line, it lines up with my middle of the trend that I marked out one day previously. So that, again, will take us to $100.79. And should we be so lucky as to get down to this level for those who are wanting to buy in, that's 95.57. But I'm not a buyer at that level, 89.67. I would be more inclined to buy at this gap closure at roughly 83.69. All right, and all these gaps to look forward to the south side. And watch out, but we are not there. We're still in an upward channel on the 5. We did not touch this line yet that I marked out previously at 88.19. Are we going to hit it and then go above it and then start to roll back? A possibility. So I own tons of Palantir. Let me show you this on the daily. My lowest buy-in was at 1073, and I still own those shares. And then in the 20s is when I last bought it. But now let me flip this back. Oh, let me see one thing. Where did we peak out? Oops. Command Z. So I just want to do one thing. Tomorrow is Friday on the daily, Friday the 7th. I want to do one thing and now take it over to the 5. Oh, that's not going to line up. Let me just do one other thing. Friday, 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 Friday. All right. There. So the level or the period I'm looking at is from here to here. So on the high end, don't hold your breath, 140.97. Middle of the trend, 118.30. And then 107.49 potentially, 95.89. All right, that's Palantir. I'm done with that. I do own YUM for my mom. We're up big time, so I have to decide if I want to sell out of this one. Oh, and let me look at SPY very quickly. Oh, and one other one, BlackBerry. It ran. I got to show you this because I was going to sell and I didn't. But let me give you some price targets. 607.76, and to the south side, 604.11. Lower than that, another level of support, 603.26, 602.34. Don't hold your breath for this level for Friday, 608.72, and definitely not going to get to this level, 609.61. And if we do, there will be a sell and a pull back. And this gap right here, oh my God, the huge one is closed. We gapped down, we closed, and that took us to 601.76. But it's been forever since I looked at this. So there's a gap here that we, wait, oh no, we already filled. Sorry, this one already filled right here to the upside. 607.35, we went some more and then we cracked. Okay, so that's done. And what about this one? Oh, that was the 6. Okay, let me delete that again. And, oops, gosh darn it. I have 6%. Okay, this gap closed to the downside at 605.52. This is when I looked at this last on the 31st. So this gap closed to the downside, taking us to 592.61, and then we've hit resistance, and then look at how we've sliced through this middle of the trend. Clear buy-in, clear buy-in, clear buy-in, sell off, kind of going sideways. And 582, so this one is done, no longer a threat to our account. 582.29, and this one closed, that one closed. All right, oh wait, let me clean up this one. 601, 14, 10-ish, whatever, delete. All right, and as far as the middle of the trend for Friday, whoops, 605.93 if we go sideways. Okay, last one. I want to get this one in because I made a faux pas here. All right, let me give you price targets and then tell you what I did. 516 is where we ended. Here are targets for, oops, for Friday. Let me mark out this level. 523, roughly 537, 545, and roughly 551 to the south side. 509, 502, 495. Note the bounce here at support, sell off at resistance, resistance here, bounce at support. All right, so what I did is on, what is this? Let me just delete that. So what I did on Wednesday is I had a sell order and I forgot to look at it. I made a video the night before, but I forgot to go through and change my own stuff because I was too busy. So then it ran while I was sleeping, but I had a sell order because I just wanted to get rid of it at 2 standard deviations. Well, on Wednesday, we ended, where's Wednesday at the end of the day? Oh, there's Thursday. Here's Wednesday. We ended up going up to 508. Had I not been in bed and then changed my settings, 508, I could have made an 8% return. Instead, I only got like a 1%. Ridiculous. That's playing the long game. And that's why if you do set like methodically your buy and sell orders and your buy and sell, you got to go back and check it because you'll screw yourself. Okay, so I completely screwed myself because I wanted to get rid of this lot. Well, I got rid of it, and that's okay because I still own shares, I think, down at 4 and at 358. Oh, I think in the $2 range too. I got to mark it out, but I do own this. This is not a hold for me long term. I've already held this long term, and I got slapped around, and I'm clawing my way back. But could we get back down to 432? Maybe. Right now we're in an upward channel. And this gap to the upside that I've already tracked. And now that it's closed out at 442. Delete. Okay. Yeah, I do have. So the $4 lot that I have, roughly, I'm up 29%. So I think what I'll do is tonight I will set a sell order, a sell limit maybe here, 551. I don't know if it's going to get that high in one day, but if I did it here, I definitely think it could, playing it conservatively. Oh, and look at here, 472. I've tracked, like I said, this many times. So we touched already here, roughly. Done. Delete. Where's my delete button? Oh gosh, look at this. I have to go through and clean this up big time. This one closed right there, taking us to 409. Yeah, I know people have written to me and said the stock is garbage. You can trade garbage, but be careful with this. Like I said, it's only started to run, and then those gaps are done. Okay, that is it. I hope you have a fantastic trading day, and let me know what you're trading because I would like to check out the chart as well. All right, have a great one.